So as you can see, it's a truck bed trailer. It came from a early 80 Dodge truck. Yeah, sorry about there are too many wheels hanging around. So these three here were the original tires, wheels that came off the truck when we bought it. These three now, and that one on the side there, and these two here, came from my boss. So I give you a rough view. So there's a this was covered before. It has a sack canopy going up, so it's covered. The top portion here is covered, and we don't want that, and I don't want that. I want a open bed truck, so we could load stuff onto it while you're standing on it. You could use the trailer as your staging point, standing up on going up somewhere. Yeah, you can load tall stuff, you can load long stuff, it doesn't matter. So you're whatever, it can load gravel, it can load stones, bricks. During summer, we'll be buying a sack of soil. Like I said, it's about 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet cubic sack of soil. It's going to be loaded by a trailer, a forklift, so that this trailer would handle that no problem. And this trailer is 8 foot long, fairly long, so you got lots of stuff you could load onto if you're doing your household stuff, carpentry stuff, plywoods, drywalls, 8 foot wood frames. This would take it no problem. So like I said, it has a canopy before, like that. It's covered, and these were the existing frame for the canopy. There were 3 each placed on the holes there. If you can see the holes there, let me try to zoom in those holes. One on the end there and one in the middle. So there are holes, and this pipe, this bent framing bent pipe, there are 3 of them. So like I said, they placed something on top like a canopy or such that we do not need. So we took the canvas canopy and threw it out. And yeah, like I said, this was an old truck, so there were lots of dents. I kind of tried to get this out, but unfortunately this is it was bent a little bit bad, but I kind of forced it from the back side there, and this is what I got. This is it's still bent here, but well, I can no longer get this popped out because I have no way of doing it from the back side anymore. But I'm going to still try. And there were lots of rust on the body, and so what happened was we kind of bought a newer fender. So this was a pre-made trailer fender. I only bought one. and cut it in half and welded it here. Unfortunately, I made a grave mistake in measuring, so that's why it became like this. It's pretty bad, but yeah, it's what what it is. So I kind of made the wrong measurement, so I'm still trying to patch that up. So there are lots of rust, like I said, and I still need to extend this up to here, maybe. Yeah. So to cover up for this, the length of this. And like I said, there are, if you notice the tires up front, I am changing the axle. I am changing the axle. So this axle here, it's dark. So anywho, I'm going to try to open the so this is what's inside the differential. I changed the axle. Where is my light? Oh, there it is. So let me just plug this. There we go. You can see it now. So this axle is no longer a Dodge axle. It came from a Chevy axle. I don't know what year. So this came from my boss. It's free. The previous one, the original one that came with the trailer, is an original Dodge. Came with this truck. But unfortunately, when I was trying to remove the tires, I felt the tires wobble, and it's like it's going to pop up anytime soon. If you load something heavy, it's like the tires would come off along with the axle itself. This one, that's where you mount up your that's the axle shaft. That's where you mount up your wheels to. So this is for this. So that was the for me the very bad luck purchase, because I didn't expect the axle to be like that. It's really bad. It might fall. The wheels might fall off on you while you're hauling stuff, and that's not good. I know for a fact that you guys would understand me if you just imagine driving on a highway at 110 kilometers an hour and suddenly your wheels pop off. That would be bad. So I got this from my boss. He gave it to me for free. Unfortunately, it came from a different vehicle, and of course it will have different mountings. That's why it's here. It's still being I'm still measuring it, so to speak. So before, the original installation of the axle of the original Dodge axle that came with the truck is this axle is underneath the spring. This one, this round stuff, round body of the axle is mounted underneath. That's the original. But I want the truck to sit lower, to lower its center of gravity, to lower it. So I moved the axle now on top. So I removed the original spring perch for this particular axle. The spring perch is the thing that's welded onto this, so that it will sit on the springs, where this hole is, right there. So I'll show you. Let me just show you. So this is called a spring perch. It has a hole here. It's just got a sticker. So just I can't poke it. The sticker is really hard. So what this does is it becomes the foot of your axle, like that. Like that. It becomes the foot, so it'll become stable. Now what happens is let me just move this light. Okay, so this is your footing, so to speak. So that the whole that thing, that's your leaf spring pin. Let's just say that it's a leaf spring pin, but it's actually a bolt that centers all the spring together, the different sizes of the spring. So anyway, so the seat, just imagine the hole there. There's a anyway, poke it with. Okay, so now you can see it there. There's a hole there. So this hole is for that particular pin to go through. Something like, yeah, like that. Let's just say, yeah, something like that. Something like that. But move the axle just a bit. There. See? So if you notice that this is not wide enough, because this is not for this particular application require spring perch. This is for a 2-inch spring perch, which is you can buy it from your local. I bought it from a local store here, and they don't have wider. You can buy wider spring perches like this, but you'll have to buy it from online, I guess. Yeah, online, Amazon, some stuff like that. You can buy it from there, and they are expensive because they are for particular trucks already. You buy it for Dodge, you buy it for Fords, you buy it for Chevys or stuff like that. But since this is a trailer, we don't want to spend too much money on them. This is just a cheap perch, and it's for a 3-inch pipe, which is, yeah, your diameter, 3-inch diameter axle. This is 3-inch, and this won't be doing the same the forces that this would be accepting is just your normal up and down force. There will be no torquing force like the original truck axles that you have your torsion forces for turning the wheels and stuff like that. This doesn't have that. It's just up and down because it's just trailer. It's not powered. So this will do. This will actually do. So it's like that. You weld it onto, obviously at the back side here, to seat your axle. Just to show you, it's going to be like that. Then you weld it somewhere like that, something like that. Then you put your after that, you put your U-bolts like so. Yeah. Put your U-bolts like that. And you have your steel plate here. Down here, you have a... You'll be putting a steel plate here. And then you tighten that down, your steel plate. You will also have a U-bolt on the other side. So you'll have two U-bolts. This one and the other side here on the other back side of your spring, and you have a steel plate that goes here, and you'll be sandwiching the spring and the axle and cramming it together. So that's your finished product actually. So the steel plate, also I don't have the steel plate per se, the fixed the aftermarket, you buy it from store steel plate. So what happened was there was an ad in Kijiji that they were selling, this guy is selling cut-offs, a steel plate cut-off of sorts. So I think we'll see it here, those steel plate cut-offs. So there were lots. There are some steel stuff under there, if you could see. So he was selling it for $20, and I asked if he could measure me because I needed something. I needed something in particular. I needed some size. He said yes, it has that particular size. So we bought it, and now these, I made the plate. So this came from his stash. I went to the shop and cut it to length, drilled holes so that our U-bolts would fit in. See, it's going to go in. And your leaf spring pin with be right here. This would be your uh, leaf spring. Let's see a sample here. There's a leaf spring right here. Part of leaf spring, so it will be like that, something like that, and your axle would be like so. Can imagine that, right? So yeah, so you're saying this is only one. Actually, this is two plates. I welded the two plates together. See the welds? There are two plates there, so that I won't be yeah. So that's the half and half of it. So I welded it, so it'll be easier for me to drill it out with the same dimensions. So I won't have any more problems. Just it's going to be plug and play. So I welded the plate together. Yeah, update on the welder. It's good. This is how it welds thick stuff. So I don't need to add any more you'll see the other videos. I'll be loading it soon. So I'll be loading that video too. So this is going to be the beginning and partly the middle of stuff. So the whole story. Now we also bought, since we welded that, those covers, those are the original light tail light spots for this particular Dodge truck, but unfortunately the original tail light would be expensive to buy. So I bought China made stuff, which are LEDs, very thin. I haven't tried them or tested them, but yeah, it might work. So we'll be putting that there for the tail light. So we'll have tail lights already. And we went to the store and bought side markers. They are Chinese made too, and they are on sale, less than $5, and they are LEDs. That will be placed somewhere on the side of the front side of your truck or of your trailer, so like that. Yeah. So I'd like also to show you the other side, which is the correct one. How I did the other side, which was a lot more better looking. So this is the other side of the fender. So you can see it's not really that bad. It's really close. And I made a mistake doing the other side. So things happen. Yeah. So now the axle 2. We'll be putting new seals on it, new wheel seals, and maybe you notice that the inside of the axle, the backside, the differential inside the axle is open, and they are outside, like here. This is the inside, which I'll be putting back inside. The reason I took this out, this would look like this inside. So this is where your ring gear or crown gear sits. I threw the ring gear and crown gear outside, and they won't be used anymore. So this is where your axle shaft goes, both sides. So these are your spider gears inside. That's the differentiating gears. What happens is this is a very simple differential gear. It's not a locking type or limited slip differential. It's very simple. So the original work of this differential. So your ring gear is like that right here, and your pinion would be on the other side. Just imagine this is your whole differential. I'll show you outside later on so that you can imagine. So your axles, wheel axles would be going out to your wheels. So your pinion is somewhere here. This is your crown gear. So your pinion is the driven gear. It's from your transmission going to, that's the input. You input power to that pinion. When it turns, it drives that crown gear ring gear around so that it turns the differential that way. So when that happens, also of course your shaft here that goes to your wheels would be turning. How that happens is, if they are separated by this would normally, for during your travel, if you're doing it straight, let me just plug this camera because the battery is dying.